this actually would foster the division militarily and politically in Israel. And it is notably known that Netanyahu wanted to dismiss his Israeli opponent in the cabinet, accusing him of failure of the October the 7th attacks and other issues such as lying, bribery, and therefore practically he wants to eliminate his opponent in such apparatus and in order to maintain his personal future and his coalition, and in order to avoid also to stand before the trials. I lost the sound. The sound was cut off.
Dr. Awad, I think we're having a few little issues with our interpreter being able to hear you. But Dr. Awad, what do you think? What are the reasons behind Israel committing more military operations in Gaza and restarting this war, essentially?
Reasons, I personally think practically is to eradicate from Hamas movement and to clear the Gaza Strip of any threat that would be posed against Israel. In addition, that Netanyahu, as I said, wanted to finish all his internal wars, meaning to fostering and his government and to prevent holding elections and to regain the power of this coalition, as would have to the Qnews is about to go in the process of waiting of the enlisting the Haredim soldiers as well as the crime or the crimes against them. These are the reasons to the resumption of the war, in addition of the real objectives that Israel thinks in the war is the strategic options to maintain the government coalition into the displacement of the Palestinian people or the militarization of the Gaza Strip as a whole.
Now, Dr. Awad, given the mounting number of civilian casualties and, of course, the destruction of healthcare facilities in Gaza, is there any way that international law could be enforced and might be able to protect innocent lives?
Israel has already exceeded the international law, international convention, and the idea of ethics. We should say precisely, if we didn't have a real and a vast Arab stance by the Arab world, the Palestinians will pay the ultimate price by launching a new war under the new military leaders, as chief of staff, and along with old goals that would affect the others. So for this reason, and by the way, Israel is also endorsed by the American side. There's no restraints either by the international laws or the international institutions. And I think that the Arab world, the stance should be decisive as long as we have an Arab plan already proposed.
And the Palestinian Foreign Ministry has called for urgent international intervention in the situation. Do you see any role for the UN and, of course, other global powers like the United States in curbing this Israeli aggression?
No, the US administration is fully supported the Israelis, even Witkoff proposals along with Polar, due to the American administration is totally support Israel, and therefore the Israeli, or rather the American stance, is hindering the role of the international community. As Israel, as I said, is easily launching this war, I think the only hope is the decisive role by the Arab leaders, and I think that the previous summit has been developed compared to the previous 15 months. Therefore, I wish for the Arab leaders to have fully and strongly do their best for ending this war.